Hello, Rob here, and this is the next set of pages in the Heatwave holiday spread. This is page 60 and 61 from the July 1965 issue of Vogue. Um, this will be continuing the narrative from the other pages. Right, now, what have we got going on here? Right. Again, the iconography of heat. So, from a Roland Barthes point of view, we've got the fan, suggestive of heat. Can't see the blades in this one, so maybe it's actually running. Interesting looking fan. This very 1920s, got kind of Art Nouveau kind of style to it. Rather like it. We've also got the glass with the iconic shape of the Coca-Cola bottle. We can't see the branding, but that shape is in itself so iconic that we instantly recognise it as Coca-Cola, which of course is to this day the leading brand of soft drink. You can literally buy it everywhere in the world. Well, pretty much everywhere in the world. The only place where Coca-Cola is outsold by another soft drink is Scotland, where it's outsold by Iron Brew. Don't need to know that, it's just a bit of trivia. Right, and we've got our photo credits still down here. Again, I'm liking the black border. This is actually a double page spread. This is what you might call a splash page. This image goes across both pages, as opposed to the last one, which had a different image on each page. Again, this is obviously a set. The white linen on the bed. Again, look at how she's reclined. Direct gaze, looking straight at us. It's very 1960s hair. Could be a wig. Not sure. It's been suggested to me in the past by other people that it looks like a wig. Could easily be. But again, look at the way it's posed. It's all about lines. It's all about positive and negative space. Look at how the shape of the fan balances out the shape of her head. Look at the leading lines. Look at the way in which the shape of her arm draws the eye to her face. The way in which the hand draws the eye to the face. The curve of her body draws her eye this way. It makes it very dynamic. Gives it a sense of, you know, even though she's lying still, it gives her a sense of action. She's looking at us again. The way one of her eyes is covered by her hair. It's got that sort of, again, that alluring sort of like come to bed eyes kind of thing that is approaching. The way she's got her hand on her breast. This not only shows off the ring as the accessory, the eye, the ring, the belt buckle. There's a kind of a symmetry going on there, and again the fan, the circles are a consistent shape here. Again, the black and the white are a consistent theme, which fits in with Helmut Newton's style perfectly. She appears quite tanned, which again fits in with the theories of this article. With the post-colonialism down here, we've got the magazine, which features Arabic lettering and a woman in an Arabic traditional costume. So I'm assuming that this is meant to be Egypt, as the previous articles were in the magazine. So again, this is suggesting a sense of the foreign, whereas this was probably photographed in some London studio. But it gives this idea of the foreign, and it ties in with post-colonialism, the exoticization of what is foreign. So it helps to create the mise en scène, helps to create the scene, create this diegetic world that this narrative is taking part in. She's obviously, as you can see, in the process of writing a letter. So she's got her pen, she's got the paper, and that will be carried on into the next set of images. It says down here, to call it a sweater is cutting a bit fine, but there you are. Finely cut sweater, ribbed in black wool, fine straps crossing behind. Yeah, I mean, do we really want wool in Egypt? Seems a bit warm. I suppose probably draw sweat away from the body quite effectively. But, still, very chic nonetheless. Nice bit of humour there, cutting it a bit fine. £3, 9 shillings and sixpence. I wear it with a long, icy white waffle peak skirt and belt. 7 guineas, both at Zizia, Regent Street and King's Road branches. That's interesting. A direct address, as if she's talking to you personally. The great magazine editor Helen Gurley Brown, who was the founder and editor of Cosmo for many years, she stated that the sort of like the mode of dress of Cosmo, that it should be like every girl's older, more sophisticated sister. Someone who's been there, done that, got experience, and is going to pass it down to you in a way that is trustworthy, that is not going to be judgmental, it's friendly, you know, someone you love and you trust. And I guess this is that similar kind of direct mode of address. It's peer-to-peer, but teacher-to-pupil. It's very chattily colloquial here. Again, Zizia. I assume Zizia, as in Zizia LeCoultre, the watch brand. Could be Jaeger or Jaeger, but I'm pretty sure Zizia. Again, Regent Street and King's Road branches. So I mean, they still make shoes to this day, I believe. And they're you know, Regent Street and King's Road are highly desirable upmarket locations in London. So again, it's suggesting high class, haute couture, expensive luxury. Again, in terms of the representation of women, if we're going to look at this in terms of the objectification, okay, yeah, there's a bit of skin showing, but it's just her shoulders, really. I guess the way she's holding, almost cupping her breast, I guess, gives it a sexualization, I suppose, which, you know, shows the woman being represented in terms of her beauty and her sex appeal. And of course, the model herself is clearly very beautiful. But what's more important here, I guess, is her pose, because whilst I said it was a dynamic pose and a dynamic image, she's still reclining. Now, of course, reclining, lying on the bed, does connote the idea of being, you know, relaxed, of being at leisure, and that's something that is, you know, luxurious preserve of the bourgeois and the rich. But it also suggests submissiveness. It puts us, the viewer, in a position, in a dominant position, and her in a submissive position. We are looking down at her. That gives us power over her. Now, this is common in the way in which women are photographed, and goes on to that, you know, that very idea that, you know, like Lisbeth Van Zoon is basically saying that the mainstream culture, the visual and narrative codes that are used to construct the male body as spectacle differ from those used to objectify the female body, and the perceived passivity of the passive female figure, reclining or kneeling, lying down, with thus the dominant gaze looking down at her, you know, is reflecting that male gaze, that patriarchal power structure. That's about it, really, I think. Not much more to talk about here. I think it is interesting that it's such an iconic image, this Coke bottle shape. But again, that kind of reflects, I guess, the shape of a woman. You know, the people are often talked about people like Marilyn Monroe as having the Coke bottle shape. Virgin Coke, that was a thing back in the days. I don't think that's still going, but when it was a thing, the bottle for Virgin Coke was specifically designed to reflect the proportions and curves of who was it? It was a Baywatch actress. Can't think of her name now off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah. See what I mean, though? It's, you know, that's that curvaceous shape. It's, you know, feminine. Right. Okay. That'll do for this video. Last 2 pages for the final video.